Latin Americans, they don't fuck around when it comes to like people just like promising them something and then not delivering when it comes to like the health of the people they care about. I mean, if there's one thing let's look at it this way.
Not that they're a monolith, but most of my Hispanic friends have been very loyal.
Let me put it this way.
Nice
If
people.
you're in America and you get in your car and you're driving down the road and you're driving through a neighborhood and you're drunk driving, right? You're drunk as shit. You obviously shouldn't be driving. You hit an old woman. You run her over. She's dead. You get out of the car and then you see her son, who is jacked as hell, run out of the house at you. Now, if that guy is Hispanic, are you more scared?
I mean, given those circumstances,
or if he's a white dude,
it don't matter.
I'm scared no matter what race he is. If he's a jacked guy,
if he's
a jacked guy,
dude,
and I know I just ran over his mother,
so really,
it doesn't matter.
Really, does it come down to are people just scared of Hispanics are most likely to be jacked? Therefore, we are more scared of Hispanics.
I don't know where that's coming from. No,
if we're saying that, it's definitely the black guys who are the most jacked. Come on,
I think you're just making up new stereotypes for things.
Yeah,
like the way you were saying it made it sound like a normal discussion, but you were just totally like,
you're off
borderline gaslighting us. Like,
you're off kilter. I'm gonna see your. I'm gonna need
I
to
love
see
this show, dude. I just get to spew some nonsense like that.
I'm gonna see. I'm
just
gonna
call
see
me
your
out on it.
podcasting license.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Here it is, sir. Here you go. There you go.
All right, thank you. The Colorado funeral home owner. I mean,
yeah, that was the other one.
Boy,
welcome to the AnythingCast. By the way, that's what it says right here. It says, "Welcome to the AnythingCast." My name is Patrick. That's right here.
My name's Eric.
That's Eric.
It should be on the middle. Yeah, that's next.
Who's on? Yeah, next page. Next page.
No, not that one.
I'm Bill.
Not Bill. No, it's the next one.
I'm Will.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
There
Good
you go.
job.
Yeah,
good
that
job.
other one was
All
about Bill Cosby. We'll get to that later. But
yeah.
Boy 13 in custody after trying to enter Wisconsin elementary school.
The only way
Well,
that was
our
going in my
police
head was
say-
that he was entering a well. Like, I thought you were just saying, boy, 13 arrested, entering well. And I was like, Jesus Christ, it must have been some fucked up scenario.
Well, that well was an elementary school,
Yeah.
and he was armed.
Oh, my God, really?
Right,
That's what it says.
What
I
was
saw
he
the
armed
headline.
with?
Doesn't say.
Actually, yeah, I saw a headline with that and a picture of the kid, but it just said he had
Was he
like
jacked?
No, he
Was he Hispanic?
No, he was
Okay, then I'm not
scrawny.
scared of him.
But yeah, he had like a duffel bag and stuff, but they
You
wouldn't
can
say.
laugh, Will. It's okay. You can laugh.
It's not funny. It's It's just so depressing. It's so bad. It's so bad.
No, it's not.
No, listen. Okay.
Trust me, it's
okay,
not a good
fine,
joke.
Laugh at this.
Fine.
Nearly 70% of Gaza war dead women and children. UN rights office says.
I know.
Jesus
I wanted to
Christ.
say that. I want to say that. Do you think that that's because people that were men in Gaza were so jacked that they could get out? That was the first thing I thought reading that headline. I was like,
That's
dude,
the first thing you think.
no,
when reading
legit.
that
That was the first thing I thought reading that. I was like, dude, the guys in Gaza must be fucking jacked. They must be like fucking just sprinting
Doing
out of that
pull-ups.
bitch. Yeah, I mean, children obviously, and the women, I mean, obviously, but like, dude.
I think the men are the ones getting like going to the front lines.
Well,
and
then
stuff,
why
which
are
is
they
insane.
not 70% of the dead if they're going to the front lines? I think the front lines is wherever they're dropping bombs on
Because
the,
they're
on the
100%
children
dead
and the
on the
women.
front lines.
Yeah, it's probably true.
I guess
The
'cause
men
front
of Gaza are
lines is just-
100% dead on the front lines.
Yeah. This is just the population for this year, which was only women and children at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, do you see a situation in Gaza where like it ends and then it is not possibly the biggest humanitarian crisis we've ever seen in the world? Like
No.
like close to the
really, no.
Holocaust?
No.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see that ending without
They're
genocide.
legitimately shooting children in the back of the head.
I know. I'm telling you right now, I agree with you. But considering that we have a war in Ukraine, considering we've had the Holocaust, do you think that the situation in Gaza is going to be closer to the war in Ukraine? Like, there's 2 points on here. The war in Ukraine, that's a humanitarian crisis, and the Holocaust, the actual Holocaust. Are we closer to which one
The Holocaust.
on that scale? Are we closer to
the
Holocaust?
Israel government is
How many
trying
people
to
do you think are
commit an
dead?
ethnical cleansing of all the Palestinians in Gaza.
How many do you think you're dead?
I mean, aren't there numbers for this?
Yeah.
No, I mean like legitimately, like off the top of your head.
I don't
off
know
the
what
top
the
of my head, a
population
million
of Gaza
plus.
is.
A million plus? Well, they didn't even get that many in the Holocaust.
I
There was
don't-
only 150 at least.
There were
150,000
6
at
million
least.
in the
6 million
Holocaust.
No, it was
just in
I've
Jews,
done
but-
the reading. I've read several articles.
Please,
I've been
let's
on
not
several
become,
websites.
No, let's not become the Holocaust
I have
Tonight
been on
podcast.
several different
It was
websites that have
6
given me the
million
facts.
people.
There's no way they could have
No.
killed 6 million.
We're not. We're not going to be the Holocaust Tonight podcast. I am putting my foot down here.
Patrick, is this that Stormfront website you were trying to tell me about earlier?
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's
okay.
it.
Oh.
Yeah,
We don't.
We had a
repeat
guy.
that.
No, legitimately, we had a guy when this was still the I'll Discuss Anything podcast. We had a guy that came on here who was like, if you have listened to this show and you've listened to it like the whole time, you've listened to every episode. Do you remember the episode where Gullet was on the show? Gullet's our friend from Pontotoc. Gullet got really into like right-wing extremism websites. And I believe Stormfront was one of the ones that he like advocated on the show.
No.
And he was like, yeah, it's the only one like telling the truth.
No.
And that happened. That happened on this show. That was the pinnacle of the like, I will literally discuss anything. I'm not going to throw you off the show for like advocating for like actual Nazi propaganda.
Well, I have some bad news for you, Bucket, or whatever your name was.
Yeah, Bucket, that's right.
They're all lying.
Yeah, practically everyone actually. as a matter
Every
of fact.
single news group and political like party is in fact lying to
Except
you.
for Fox. Fox is the only one that's telling anybody
According
the truth.
to Reuters, and on the everyone's lying to you, I would like to point out AP News and Reuters are are considered the standard for reliability.
Associated Press and Reuters are like the ones that are
So
like, oh,
I would
we're
highly,
the facts.
I would highly recommend at least those two news companies.
Or invest in those apps that have been coming out that tell you where all the bias is in the
Oh,
news
you mean
sources.
That's
come
where I
from.
got this,
Ground
my boy.
News?
This is printed off
Yeah,
from
Ground News is
ground.news.
great. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I love Ground News.
Me
Ground
too.
News is amazing.
Ground News is what I use every single day.
This isn't even sponsored.
No, this is not sponsored. Ground News, if you hear this, please sponsor us. But like legitimately, Ground News is probably the best news source application that has ever existed.
Also, Ground
according
News,
to-
we get it if you don't. It's fine.
According-
Oh yeah,
but
of course.
please do.
I think I just like did a Holocaust denial like 5 minutes ago.
According-
If you don't, I understand.
Yeah.
It was a joke though, I promise.
According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, as a count of September 29th, 41,595 Palestinians dead, accounted to 10 times its counted loss of all previous Gazan conflicts since 2008.
That's like nothing.
40K.
Yeah, like 40K. No, I mean, like, I'm trying to. I don't want to sound like an asshole. I'm going to come out sound like an asshole with this. But like 40, I
mean,
thought the number was way higher. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think the population of Palestine is that big, dude.
Is
it's
it?
a very
No, I don't think
small
it's- well, hold on,
landmass.
let's see.
What is the total
Yeah, what's
population?
the total population of Palestine, and how can we get the rest of them into that number? However,
He means the living population. we need to get them all into the living population.
yes,
the state of
absolutely. That's what I
Palestine
meant.
2025 population is estimated at 5,495,000.
okay, see, yeah, that's nothing.
So that is
people
actually
at mid-year.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's less than 1%.
I mean, that might be true, but you know,
It's fucked up. I'm not saying it's not
9/11
fucked up, but we killed more people in the war on terror.
The
Well, yeah,
problem-
and
we've been over
but-
this.
But the issue is it's going to continue
Oh yeah, of course.
unabated.
Until they get to
And
about
another big issue
150,000, and then they
is
will never.
Netanyahu is using starvation as a collective punishment.
Yeah, until they get to 150,000, and the Jews
Yeah.
will never let the Palestinians outdo them on the Holocaust. They'll cut the number off there. Netanyahu himself will say,
Yeah.
absolutely
Once we get
not.
to 599,999,
5.9 million. He's like, all right, no more Palestinians.
We're
dead. They
better
can't-
than this.
Yeah, we're better than them.
come on, guys, come on. We're not the Nazis after all.
Fuck. Netanyahu's such a fucking war criminal. I hate that piece of shit.
he's
Bibi.
a bit of a fascist.
His name is Bibi Netanyahu. His literal name is Bibi.
I like
He's
calling
the,
him BB.
He's the bad guy from
BB
Dragon
Bluff.
Ball GT, dude.
Come here,
I was thinking
BB.
the bad girl from Doug.
Oh,
rich
the
girl,
bad.
BB.
Oh, yeah, BB. Fuck
Yeah,
that girl.
she was always a bitch.
You know who ruled from Doug though?
Roger Klotz.
Roger. Yeah, hell yeah. Give me some skin, bro. Hell yeah. Roger ruled. Doug was a fucking faggot. I don't care. Like, if you watch that show today, Doug is like the worst human being in existence. He's like wishy-washy. He's gay. He just fucking wears shorts and can't like commit to anything. He's just he's so annoying. And then Roger skates in on a fucking rollerblade with his shades and says like, "Hey faggot, what's up?" And then pushes Doug over and then flies off with his friends. Roger ruled. Yeah. I wanted to be Roger, not Doug, as a kid.
Roger smokes weed and like wears leather.
Yeah, exactly. Roger has driven a car and he's not even 16, and he does it regularly. Doug has never ridden a bicycle.
Doug had to go home from church camp because he was crying too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Doug's dumb.
Do you think wait, realistically, if the canon of Doug is like to be believed, do you think that Doug ends up with Patty Mayonnaise? Or do you think Roger ends up cucking him?
I think realistically, Doug hangs himself.
And Skeeter finds him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Skeeter finds him in the closet. He's like, oh, jeez.
And I don't even think it was like a suicide attempt. Doug was just trying to get off.
Was Skeeter black?
This is going to go on your permanent record,
Is he black coated?
I don't know. Skeeter's dad was the principal, wasn't he?
No, not Skeeter's dad. No, the principal was a different guy. I forget his
was he
name.
also black?
No, I don't know. The coding for races and that was weird.
Yeah,
no. The guy who made Doug came out and said that was like that he meant
Skeeter
for them
was
to be
definitely black.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think his neighbor was black too. The inventor guy who was really weirdly okay.
I remember Hey Arnold way better than I remember
Skeeter.
Doug.
I don't remember dick all that happened in either of those shows. I just remember the characters.
Am I the only one at this table right now in this minutia of the universe that we exist in that wanted to fuck Doug's sister? Because of Iron.
Oh, Doug's sister. Yeah, she's fuckable.
I know. She's so like, because Doug sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just sucks. And she just tells him to his face how much he sucks constantly.
No, she's got like that French bitch thing going on.
Exactly. She's just like, fuck you. Patrick, put up a picture of Doug's sister.
Yeah, she's like a 90s era thespian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She was exactly what we wanted to be in high school.
Kinda.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, she is.
I don't know about exactly.
He's got you pegged like she would peg you.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so that's exactly what Patrick would have wanted.
I've never had it. I don't know if I'd like it or not. Thank you very much.
Bullshit.
Oh, you've had the real thing before.
I've had the real thing, but the real thing's warm. I don't want to fucking stand on my soapbox and be like, pegging wouldn't be as good, but it's going to be like a cold piece of plastic.
No, it's not.
It is. It's going to be weird.
No, you warm it up. That's
It'll
what
warm up
that's
in
what
like-
foreplay's for, you dip.
Foreplay?
Yeah.
Wait, what are they putting? Wait, how am I in the microwave? Are we microwave foreplay now?
Are you an idiot?
Yes. Have you watched an episode of the show?
Have you ever watched porn when there's a strap on? They freaking make the guy like blow them on with the strap on, and that warms it up.
How warm can that get it really? Because
How
like you
hot?
know
At least
that
98
shit.
degrees. Your mouth is hot.
Yeah, but then it turns like it. You know that shit.
Breathe on the fucking thing.
Is that the sound you make when you're pegged?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's he doesn't go hawk tua. He goes ha ha.
Your mother sure does care about your schooling, son.
Did you see that she signed on with Kick? She's getting like $4 million or some shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
at
the
this
Hawk
point,
Tua girl?
I'm
Yeah.
at this point, I'm with some of the edge conspiracy theorists with that industry plant.
I know I edged.
Like, that's not a
conspiracy
real
Oh
thing.
yeah, I edged that conspiracy
Like,
all day
that's-
long, dude.
That's not
Hawk
a real
Tua
thing.
over here. You know
No,
what I'm
it's
saying?
real. No, that is 100% real. The fact of the matter is that all you have to do is have one thing that goes viral, and then you skyrocket to popularity, and then you live off of that for 10 years, and then after that, you are no one.
Yep.
And then you end up as like a stand-up comedian, like the guy who does the sounds from Police Academy.
And if you're lucky, you were smart enough to put that money in investments.
Yeah, exactly. If you were smart enough, you had like a guy the whole time who was like taking all of your money and growing it. Because if that's not what you were doing, you're retarded.
And then you end up like Flavor Flav.
You end up like Flavor Flav, or God forbid, the guy who played Blade, who, as we know, is the coolest black guy in existence,
Wesley
but
Snipes?
still went to prison.
Yeah, he did, but that was for tax evasion.
That just proves that any black guy can go to prison. If Wesley Snipes can go to prison, any black guy can go to prison.
Well, and Diddy went to prison, to be fair.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's worried like they're gonna poison his food and stuff. I hear.
I mean, he's basically the Black Epstein, so I mean, I'd be pretty worried about.
Is he?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Epstein had like
it's a little different, but
no.
it's
I just
very
feel like
similar.
he's the black.
he was
half
also
Epstein.
What?
He's
No,
the black 3/5 Epstein.
No, Epstein was a
Okay,
sex.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not quite an Epstein. He's more like a 3/5 Epstein.
I see
Wow.
what he's going with this. Did you not catch that one?
Wow.
Okay,
You
yeah,
can't
he
just
caught it.
wow. You can't just wow at me. I'm trying to. I'm throwing out. I'm making like connections. I'm throwing out zingers, and you're just saying wow at me. Really?
I wonder who had more money.
Put
Epstein
the
or
Owen
Diddy?
Wilson.
Oh, Epstein, solid. He owned an island.
Put
Did
the
he-
Owen
did he-
Wilson
Did he-
wow
Wow.
in here.
Wow.
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 Yeah, no, there's no way. There's no way P. Diddy had more money than Epstein. Let me tell you. Epstein owned an island and a mansion.
And
P.
was
Diddy had
white.
a mansion. Yeah, he was white. That's a good point. As a matter of fact, no, as we all know, the American justice system would never let a black man have as much money as Epstein did. They would put him in prison first. Wait a minute.
Well, first they were worried about the whole concept, and so they were like, well, Epstein is Jewish, so they just went ahead and killed
Oh, yeah.
him.
Yeah, they were just
And
like,
then
fine,
when-
it's fine. His
you know-
ancestors are used to this. Just
Yeah.
gas him.
And then since Diddy was catching up anyway, they were just like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Now this just makes us all look like fools.
But is that how it's going to go now? Is every new guy who's a sexual predator who's got like a fucking
Is the new
pedophilia
Epstein?
ring is the
Yes.
new? No, I mean like it's going to be like, oh, P. Diddy's the new Epstein.
Yes.
Then the next guy's the new P. Diddy, and then the next guy's the next that guy.
It depends on how common this becomes.
Wait, wait, is Epstein the? Wait, was Epstein the next Michael Jackson?
No, Epstein was the next Weinstein. no, not really.
Not
Weinstein
really.
was
Tony
just
Todd
a serial
died.
abuser.
Who's
Who
him?
the fuck
He was
is
in
Tony
The Crow, Platoon,
Yeah,
and in Candyman. He was the star of Candyman.
Oh,
Oh,
that guy.
okay.
That guy was really cool.
Sure,
The old black dude.
He was
a-
69.
that's kind of young.
Nice.
Trump's attorney's phone tapped by Chinese hackers, CNN reports. You trust that shit? CNN telling you about Trump's attorney's phone?
No, it's CNN.
Of course.
There,
Joe Biden urges Americans to bring down the temperature after Donald Trump election.
Well, yeah, that's.
How you feel about that, Will? How you
The
feel
Demo-
about
How
Biden?
about Kamala
How about
and
you fucking
Biden?
tell it to your guy, the other guy, you dipshit? Stop telling it to me. I'm not the one going out here going, kill everybody, kill everyone. Go
Well-
tell it to your other guy who's going, we should go start shooting the enemies within. How about you tell it to him?
I really like that if I hold this empty White Claw bottle while Will's doing that voice, I can feel the reverberations of his voice in my fingertips through the bottle. That's kind of like its
Feel
own
the
little
stress
experience.
in my vocal cords.
I can. It's kind of nice, honestly. Kind of felt like a little tingle on my fingertips. I felt nice. I'm
now,
big
now
into
you
that.
sound like a true right-wing person. Just like I feel pleasure at the struggles of the left. Like the more
Yeah,
their
the- I
voice
think
is strained.
The
I think the-
strained voice of a POC.
It's like
I think-
it's
I
like
think-
ASMR to
I think
you
the
at
best
this
thing
point.
is like online right now is the liberals are like, why didn't we win? Why didn't it happen? It's the leftist fault.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's like, bro, Kanye West apparently blew off a court date and was 5,000 miles away when everyone else showed up to that court hearing.
Wait, what?
So Kanye West had a court date,
Yes.
and instead of showing up with his lawyers and the judge and the other, the prosecutor and stuff, he was 5,000 miles away.
How? What was it in California and he was in Georgia?
Probably, yeah.
Like, yeah, he was just on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
I mean, Kanye West is one of those types. Was he going to be found in contempt of court? Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, being found in contempt of court isn't the worst thing. That one guy that's that Trump supporter got like 8 months for contempt of court. Honestly, contempt of court barely means anything at the moment. It's really weird. It's actually
especially
weird.
if you're rich.
Especially if you're rich.
Especially if you're rich. Houthi leader says Trump will fail to end the Israel-Palestinian conflict.
I really doubt
I
that.
suppose he would have to say that, wouldn't
He would have to. Like,
I'm sorry.
if I'm going to be real about it, the Houthi leader is probably going to be dead within a week because Trump's going to drop a giant piece of iron on
the
him from
top
orbit.
comment says it all. Trump's press conference 6 months from now. He died like a
Exactly. That's exactly what it's going to be.
dog. Bro.
The day before the election, I didn't talk about this in the last episode, which I probably should have, but like this week before the election, I fell into a deep depression. I was very depressed because at some point I realized that like no matter what I did or who I voted for, Mississippi's still going to vote red, right? Yeah. And it's not going to have I guess I should just say like the character Patrick is dead. Fucking shoot him in the backyard. This is real me talking. But I realized that, like I said, my vote's not going to matter. Mississippi's going to vote red anyways.
Yeah.
And then I decided, like, well, do I even really live in like a republic? Do I live in a democracy where like my voice is heard? And then I got I spiraled so far down into my depression and into my anger to where I was talking to my wife and I was like, you know what? Maybe fuck like the democracy. Maybe we should install an emperor. Maybe that would like actually put like political stability into this country. Maybe if Donald Trump does get in office, maybe you just kill everybody in Congress and the justice system and just install him as emperor, and then at least we will have political stability.
I'm glad you.
And I was so angry that was like a legitimate thought that I had.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm glad you prefaced this with like, I was depressed, so therefore my thoughts were retarded right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I was so mad that I was like, you know what?
Fuck the system.
Fuck the system.
Yeah.
If we like just wipe the slate clean, put Donald Trump in as an emperor, make him an emperor, and then just at
you were
least,
like, let's accelerate
at
it.
the very least, we will have political stability. That's all I really want. I realized that in that moment of depression. And I think that's what got me out of that depression was I just really would like for the first time in my entire life since I've been able to vote to have some semblance of political stability. And you know why that is?
Because it's gotten worse since
No,
we've gotten
because
older?
George W. Bush had a fucking 97% approval rating after 9/11, and I saw that as a child, and I was like, you know what? I see some political stability. Everybody's working together, and that brain rotted me into thinking that was how it was.
That was such a short snapshot, too. That was like the year
It was
after
1
9/11.
year. Yeah, like 1 year. It didn't last any longer than that. But my brain was like, why can we not have political stability? The essence of a republic is that we should be able to get along. We should be able to hear everybody's thoughts, and then we should be able to come to a consensus in the middle. And no, of course not. At this point, it's that we have to either elect a woman who's most of her shit I don't agree with, or a guy who's even worse. Like, and I don't know where we are in the idea of democracy anymore. And then Will's like, yeah, let's have a revolution and then have communism. And I'm like, well, that would just lead to exactly what I'm talking about, but the guy won't call himself an emperor.
And
It'll be the guy. It'll have Che Guevara, or you'll have the fucking guy from Cuba.
And I hardly believe that there would be a peaceful transition of power.
There's no such thing.
Revolution.
There's no
in America.
Napoleon's the
Okay,
only one who's ever
I
won.
need to get rid of this fucking idea that communists are like, oh, there will be a peaceful revolution and change of power. No, not a single goddamn true believing communist believes that. Every single leftist communist understands to make an omelet, you have to break a fucking egg. Everyone acknowledges they don't want to be the egg that gets broken. I don't want to die. You don't want to die. No one wants to die. But guess what? I want more than that. I want freedom.
I want Napoleon.
I
want that bloodless. I want that bloodless transfer of power where the guy walks in, and then some guy tries to stab him, and then the military goes in, and then he gets installed as like the new emperor.
I just
basically
refuse to like cast a vote for civil war, basically. Like, I do believe that we as human beings, just in general, not necessarily like Americans, just human beings, are in fact capable of having a fucking discourse and talking.
Well, the problem is capitalists aren't.
No, the problem is party politics.
Yeah.
The problem is not that they're capitalists. The problem is that like people conform to a party and they are no longer individuals. Eric's right. As individuals, we can totally come to a consensus and talk to each other. As parties, where it's not
not
us.
All
No.
blue or all
No,
red.
it's weird because it's two different groups of people coming to a consensus, and then they try to come into the middle. It's not everybody coming to a consensus and then coming to the middle. No, it's these people on the left have to come to a consensus, and then these people on the right have to come to a consensus.
No one coming to a consensus ever since Citizens United. It's just corporations come to a consensus, and then it's just whatever your favorite color happens to be.
I
after
really
that.
legitimately wish that was true.
That is true. Look up Citizens United.
I know what Citizens United is. I wish that was true, because if Citizens United was true, then fucking Elon Musk would own Trump's ass.
Dude, he does.
He doesn't.
He does.
No, he's a big fan.
He legitimately just bought him the election.
No.
He won him the Pennsylvania vote, yes.
Yeah, but that's not owning him because they're both rich. Donald
Okay,
Trump's first presidency,
Trump is
he
not
sold
rich.
hats.
Hold on.
He sold books. He sold Bibles.
Trump
he is so
not
rich now.
He
is now
functionally rich, dude.
He is so rich now. His first presidency, all he did was sell merchandise. He capitalized on being president, which I personally think is like the worst thing you could do as president. But I'm not going to lie to myself and tell myself he's not rich now. I think he was probably broke before then. But now the dude's selling fucking Bibles and coins and plates, anything with his image on it, he sells out like hotcakes.
He's always done that.
No, but the last time he did that, he was the guy who said you're fired. He didn't sell like he was the president.
He's the guy who's going to make everything good again.
Yeah, he might be. It might as well be Julius Caesar at this point. I mean, they are going to put his face on a dollar bill. You know it to be true.
Gross. No.
You know it in your heart that like that's gonna happen.
We haven't updated the fucking faces on the money in a long time.
There's still a thing for the lady who was the Underground Railroad lady. They will still want to like put her, Harriet Tubman. They want to put her on the $20 bill because Andrew Jackson's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Jackson is legitimately one of the worst human beings alive.
Yeah.
He
Ever.
just ran around
American
just
Hitler.
doing terrible,
Yeah, he's
terrible
America's
things.
Hitler.
Yeah.
People want to replace Andrew Jackson with Harriet Tubman, and that has gotten nowhere. And the fact that that has gotten nowhere tells me that they're going to put fucking Trump on the 20.
Probably.
Hell, they might put him on the 50. No, maybe they'll put him on the 100 just because he'll be like, you know what?
Nah.
No, fuck
if they really
Benjamin.
want to fuck with people, put them on the 5.
Ooh, yeah, because that's the one that everybody sees like the most often.
And it's
Also
Lincoln.
because it's
Yeah,
Lincoln.
it's
He'd be
Lincoln.
replacing Lincoln.
The founder of the Republican Party.
Yeah,
You ever think about that?
The founder of the
I don't know if
Republican
he-
Party.
I don't know if he's the founder, but he is the
uniter.
Republican Party.
He
main
is. He's the
guy.
founder of the Republican Party. Lincoln founded the Republican Party as
Did
we
he?
know it. Yeah.
Yes. That's
So the
100%
idea
true.
is that
I didn't know that.
So the idea would be that Trump would be like, I've made a new Republican Party. I think that they should put me on the $5 bill.
Yeah.
I'm if nothing else, I'm just as good as Lincoln. Let's be honest.
And like always goes off about how he's been the best president since Lincoln for black people. That's a legitimate thing that he said.
You know, a thing about that though is, I have not heard a single president or presidential candidate not say that. That is every single president. I've heard that out of every single election. Every single one says they'll be the best one for black people because they know it's a huge
And you're just sitting there
demographic.
thinking, when's there going to be the best one for white people?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, come on. And then Trump got elected, and I was like,
Yeah,
finally,
my guy.
finally,
My
my
guy
guy's
is
here.
here.
Yeah.
We've been so just starved for any kind of representation in American politics. It's been a true torture.
Is it really, are as collectively, us at this table, are we really just living through the era of America elected one black guy and then the world just, not the world, America just absolutely flipped the fucking table
Yeah.
and said, no, never, ever a black guy as president. We're putting Donald Trump in there. You remember the guy who says you're fired from the fucking Apprentice?
Yeah.
He's the president
You
now.
remember the racist?
Deal with it. Yeah, deal with it.
This is the fucking pendulum, man. Like,
That's the hardest pendulum swing, though.
Well, I mean, look, dude. Now,
What was the one before that?
Well, now like trans people are out and shit, and like fucking.
And God bless them. I mean, swear to God after this.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
religious freedom in the United States is actually something fought for people who aren't Christian for once. You
Yeah.
know, like there was a huge swing towards liberal and progressive ideas. Women's rights, trans rights, gay rights. Being cool with people with browner skin.
And no one, I swear to God, even in this Trump election, no one's going to like. The pendulum will never swing. My opinion of it is that the pendulum swings both ways, but it never swings to the extremes every time. Because no one will ever hate gay people again. People are going to be fine with gay people for every president forward.
Yeah,
Trans people are the new target.
Yeah,
because
like-
they're worse. You know,
Yeah,
like that's
like
the
big
way
air
they look
quotes,
at
yeah,
it. Yeah,
but, like,
they are
yeah.
the ones that are ruining the children.
Yeah.
No, in the 90s, gay
Drag
people,
queens reading
Exactly.
stories to children in libraries.
gay people in
I
the
feel like
90s.
that's
We should
the-
have them with molesting priests, damn it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the 90s,
Do you
you
think they're
can
more
look
likely
back.
to be molested with the drag queen in the library or at church? Because let me just tell you, the track record is depressing.
This is something like, I guess we've gotten on a topic that I actually care about, which is gay rights, because as a queer person, I legitimately give a shit. But if you look back in the 90s, gay people were equated to pedophiles because pedophile is the worst thing that anyone can think of. And then they just equate gay people to that. And now that's what they're doing with trans people, but they've moved on from gay people. Gay people are now fine. Most people can know a gay person. And they're like, yeah, I know gay people are okay. They're not fucking kids every day. But trans people are.
Right.
That's where we are as a society.
It's like the fucking,
What's next? Furries?
It's
Is
maybe.
Donald Trump going to get up on stage
Too
and
many
be like,
people in the IT industry are furries for that to happen.
You're right. And Republicans.
Yeah.
Too many Republican furries. You would think that about gays. How did the Republicans end up hating gays when like there's those
The majority
statistics?
of them are gay.
There's that statistic where they're like have the Republican National Convention and then like
Grindr goes insane.
Yeah, Grindr goes insane and the gay prostitutes that work there like that's our busiest time of year.
Well, you see, that's easily explained
Because it's taboo.
Because the right wing of the Republican Party at that time is because they always need an enemy to fear, and at the time it was gays. And then when gays became good capitalists, then, like you said, they moved on to the new enemy of the state, the trans.
Of course. I legitimately think that
you're
like
not
we're
wrong.
going to
Let's
have
be completely honest. Most of those people with those gay prostitutes have wives at
Yeah,
home, so they're actually,
of course.
not because it's gay, but they are in fact committing a pseudo crime.
Of course, not even a pseudo crime. That's legitimately a crime if you're in the right state. I mean, if you go and cheat on your wife right now, that's a crime. You can go to prison for that in Mississippi.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know what the extent of it was. I know that you can lose your shit.
No,
like,
you can. No,
bad.
that is a crime in
Like,
Mississippi.
If you get caught cheating,
Adultery
guess what?
is
The
a-
divorce is coming, and you are fucked.
I don't think adultery is a misdemeanor here. I think it's a felony in Mississippi only, though. I don't think it's that way everywhere. Hold on.
I don't know. I feel like I've known enough like cheaters and
Is
stuff.
adultery a felony in Mississippi? What happens if you commit adultery? Oh my God. If any man or woman shall unlawfully cohabit, whether in adultery or fornication, they shall be fined in any sum not more than $500 each and imprisoned in the county jail not more than 6 months, and it shall not be necessary to constitute the offense.
Okay, that law is moot because it also has fornication in there.
What do you mean?
That's just having sex with someone you're not married to, dude.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean,
That's not a crime.
that is a crime. That's what it means. That's
Yeah,
what it says.
It's an archaic crime.
Oh
dude.
yeah, no, I mean
It's-
all of ours. I mean, sodomy is a dude. Do you have any idea how many times I made a joke
Look.
when I was getting a blowjob in Tennessee and it was like, we're breaking the law right now? Am I right? Okay,
Yeah, I got that.
adultery and
But, like-
fucking sodomy.
Well, adultery is, I feel, actually still a real crime. Like that's a crime with like victims and stuff. Like
We had a guy. Did you ever
being
get ISS?
homo doesn't necessarily involve a victim or anything.
No, but it's still illegal here. Sodomy's still illegal.
Yeah, who gives a fuck though? No one's ever gonna enforce that. But
Did you ever get ISS at the school we went to for high school? There was this
I
big
don't think
fat
so,
black
no.
police officer who was the ISS guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast, but we're sitting in ISS one time, and ISS is where all the bad kids are at, right? He knows
just
his
in
audience.
case the terminology isn't known, that's in school suspension.
Yeah. It's not like you have to
But
leave.
you weren't the bad kids. That's like the jail in relative to prison.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the other
yeah, it's
one.
jail.
Out of school suspension.
yeah, out of
No,
school.
that's-
That's way worse.
Nah, you're not like that bad of a kid if you go to like out of school skin is just vacation. No, you're bad if you're an alternative school.
Oh God, my cousin
Oh,
went to
yeah.
alternative
Yeah,
school. You know
don't.
why?
Huh.
He got a blowjob in the band hall.
Nice. He's a
That's
bad
it.
kid. No,
That's
the kid
it.
I knew in alternative school put in a bomb threat to the school.
The other.
That's
I know one
probably
more
a
kid.
Good reason.
I know one more kid who went to alternative school. You know what he did?
Uh,
Pepper sprayed himself
The other kid I knew in alternative school
What a jip.
was
Right?
kind of insane because he did a lot of
Patrick,
mushrooms.
censor that. That's a Jewish slur. I'm sorry. Say that again, Will.
The other kid I knew in alternative school did just a lot of mushrooms, and that got what.
Oh yeah,
what
that'll
got
do it
into
every
him.
time.
Yeah, his brain was mush.
Anyways, we were in ISS, right? We're sitting there, and then the guy, we're bored as fuck. And he can tell because there's nothing you can do in ISS is ever just sit there, right? You're sitting there for like 4 hours. So the big fat black cop dude starts telling us a story. And he used to be a beat cop, right? So he tells us a story about how he gets a call, a domestic violence call. They go in, him and his partner, they knock on the door, and a woman answers the door, and she's like, "Thank God you're here. I called you like 10 minutes ago. Why did it take you to get here so long?" And they're like, "We're sorry, ma'am. You know, we got here as fast as we could. We were on the other side of town." And he's like, "What's the problem? Is everything okay? Are you all right? I mean, yeah, you seem okay." And she's like, "I was having sex with my husband, and he pulled out and then put it in the other hole. And then at this point, the husband has walked up into the foyer and is standing behind her and watching her explain this in like just dead silence with just nothing on his face, right? He's just sitting there staring at the cop, looking back at her, watching the cop, seeing how the cop's going to react. And he said, "I swear to you kids, this is what happened." I looked at the man, I said, "Sir, is that true?" And he said, "Yes, sir, officer. It wasn't on purpose, but that was true." And he said, "I'm afraid that sodomy is illegal in Mississippi and you were under arrest."
No way he did that.
He did. He arrested the dude, and that guy got to go to the drunk tank because they had to take him to jail for that and give him a ticket. Because it was a domestic violence dispute, they had to separate them because it was a domestic violence call. So the law at the time said they had to separate them, so they had to take him, and then they had to write him a ticket for sodomy in Mississippi.
I just want to point out that the cops do not have to charge you.
No, they don't have to charge you, but when you flatly say it in front of you and your partner, it's kind of one of those situations where you're wearing a fucking camera and you're like, "I know what the law says I have to do here." So he put them
Well, you
in the
said
cop
this was
car.
when you were a kid.
Yeah, I was a kid. I was like,
They
I was like,
didn't
I
have
was
body cameras
15.
back then. He didn't have to do shit.
You don't think so? They have body cams when we were 15?
I think he was
so.
being an ass.
Yeah, maybe. But he,
At the very
he
minimum,
said
Mississippi didn't.
he said at the end of it, he was like, "I really didn't want to do it. I swear I didn't want to do it, but I had to. The law said I had to." So I said, "Sir, you're under arrest. If you show me your hands, I'll put the cuffs on you and put you in the car." And then I put him in the drunk tank, and then we let him out the next morning. I had to write him a ticket, and he had to go to court for it.
I think your ISS guy might have been a moron.
Yeah.
Oh, he was, no, dude, I'm talking about like room temperature IQ.
Let's
he
be
was.
completely honest. There's a reason he's no longer
Exactly.
a
He was no
cop.
longer a cop.
And
But that
he
is a legitimate
watches
thing
over
that he did.
kids who get
Imagine getting
blowjobs.
arrested for that.
I can't.
You can, because it's Mississippi. We live in a fucking what's the fucking the thing where like your policies are run by religion?
Theocratic.
Theocracy.
Theocracy. We
I think
live
you're-
in a theocracy.
I think you're thinking of we live in a theocratic state.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately. Do you think that anyone in Mississippi can run for office and win if they don't claim to be a Christian and do Christian values?
Only if you can somehow manage to go the entire way with it never coming up.
You got it.
That would
You
be
got
the
it.
only way to do it.
Yeah.
I've met
You
so
would have
many.
to obfuscate. That would be the only way.
The weirdest thing that I
or
found
just
is
lie.
that yeah, or
Well,
lie like
yeah,
Trump
that's
does.
how I got hired at Chick-fil-A, but
Yeah,
like that's
God.
I claimed Presbyterian because that was the last church I'd been to. In
Really?
preschool.
Because you would I don't know.
I've
You went
never
to the
been to a
church that my
Presbyterian.
dad started one time.
Yeah, I've
we
been
hung
there.
out up there at the top of a bank one time. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, back when their church was in the top floor of a bank. I fucked
Church
so
is just a gathering of people.
many bitches in that empty bank, dude. Let me tell you, that was like that
And then
was
you got that one chick excommunicated that one time.
yeah, I did though.
But you
That
said
was in
you
Memphis.
didn't fuck.
No,
You
I didn't
said
fuck
that you
her.
only did
I didn't
hand
fuck
stuff.
her. We only did hand stuff.
So
But that
you
was in
did
Memphis.
fuck at the top of that bank, though.
No, not the top of the bank. Every other
Do you
floor
guys-
of that bank,
oh,
though,
hey.
I fucked in every room.
Whoa! Enough about bank fucking. The more importantly,
Bank fucking is pretty much
More
all you're against, dude.
importantly-
You're a communist.
Michael Keaton. Does he look like Tom Hanks?
Michael Keaton.
I mean,
looked like Tom
you'd
Hanks.
have to give me a side by side or something.
Michael
mean,
Keaton's Batman.
I don't
he's
think
the he's
so.
the guy from Birdman, and then Tom Hanks is the guy who is. I mean, you know who Tom Hanks is. Tom Hanks is fucking
He's looking.
Castaway.
Patrick, put it on screen.
Patrick, put up a picture of Tom Hanks and put up a picture of Michael Clark Duncan. Whatever his name was.
Tom Hanks.
They don't really look alike.
Says that he gets confused for Michael Keaton all the time.
I'm trying to see it, and I'm just like, at first I thought,
fucking they look nothing alike.
other than both being older
white man?
men.
Editor
Yeah.
Patrick, I want you to
That's
circle
it.
every like look-alike thing between the two.
All right, and then negative highlight everything that doesn't look like. You know, like, you know, subdivide the image into like their mouths, their eyes, their nose, and then like if they look the same, like generally the same, highlight it yellow. If it doesn't look the same, highlight it blue. So everybody gets a good image of like what
It's
the
gonna be
fuck they're
all
talking
yellow.
about.
It's just a yellow filter.
It's just going to be yellow text on screen saying no, is what it's going to be. It's going to be Joker Man font with a stroke effect around it saying no. Look at their fucking face. Tom Hanks doesn't have eyes. Michael Clark Duncan. God damn it, I said it again. Patrick, put up
Michael Keaton.
Shut up. Patrick, put up Tom Hanks and Michael Clark Duncan. Now do the exact same highlight thing that you did. And see if you can find the differences between Tom Hanks and
Patrick,
Michael
I'm
Clark
gonna need
Duncan.
you to get in contact with an actual plastic surgeon so we can get like the most detailed report on this.
I've been thinking about getting plastic surgery. Legit.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Because I got this like thing where I'm aging and I'm getting this like sagging skin
He's a
under here
narcissist.
because I'm fucking fat. And like I'm like, you know, I could live with like the rest of this. I could live with bitch tits and like a little flab like down here.
Can't
But
live
like
with a
this
double chin.
shit, I can't live with a double chin. I fucking hate it. It looks dumb in
You
pictures.
can't get rid of the double chin.
Dude, the problem is I can't grow a beard. If I can grow a beard, it wouldn't fucking matter. But I can't grow a beard.
Right.
Yeah, so like if I smile, look at this.
jaw, so.
yeah.
Actual like
Well,
definition.
you gotta
where
lose
it's
weight.
like,
That would go away if you lost weight.
Yeah, I could also just get plastic surgery and then I wouldn't have to lose weight and then I could still be fat. How about that, Will? You
Yeah,
ever
but
thought about
wouldn't
that?
it,
Well, how about
wouldn't
you
it come
just think
back?
about actually getting some?
No, it wouldn't come
How
back.
about you get with the program? We're right wing now. You gotta get disciplined. Start working out. Start dieting right.
When I was depressed, I thought about joining the army. That was another thing that when I was
You're too old to join the
when I
army,
was
you
really
retard.
I was really depressed and I was like, we should install an emperor. I'm sitting here like in my deepest thoughts. I'm in
You're like, I wanted to go to the Warhammer
you want to see this
universe.
fucking you want to see this carpet right here? I'm laying in this carpet face down. Like just
Where's Horace?
Yeah, I'm just so depressed. The lights are off. I'm doing nothing. And my wife is just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm thinking about joining the army and like going to officer school. And maybe I could like rise to the ranks and like we should install an emperor. Maybe I could like dethrone him at some point and like maybe I could like have some self-achievement in my
honey,
life.
You've been watching way too much anime.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Little bit.
It was legitimately more that Reed, God bless him. Reed's been on this podcast before. Reed is like my rock when I'm like super depressed. He has a good way of like seeing what I'm actually depressed about when I can't see it.
Mhm.
And he sent me like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right?
Mhm.
And Patrick, I guess, put that up. And the top thing on Maslow's hierarchy of needs is like self-aggrandizing achievement, basically, like self-fulfillment, like things you want to do that you feel achieved in, and nothing I do I feel achieved in, like nothing that I want to do, at least. Like I'm successful in owning a home, successful in having a job, successful in being able to have the capability to do the things that I want, but I'm not successful at any of the things that I want to do.
Right.
So I've never like had a rock band that like kicked off. I never had a podcast that made numbers, anything like that. I never had anything close to that. And that was really where I was like suffering. And then below that on there is self-esteem. So I was failing at that top part, and I was falling back down to self-esteem, and my self-esteem was just through the fucking floor. So I was laying in the fucking floor, like crying and like cuddled up and in the fetal position, trying to find out what's wrong with me.
You know what's funny? I don't know if this is deflection or something like that, but leading up to the election,
But you're
I just
gay.
What was that?
I'm sorry, no, that was me deflecting. Sorry.
okay,
yeah,
there we
no.
go. Okay, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
But no, during the lead up to the election, I just kept thinking about my terrible relationship with my mother.
With your mom?
Yeah.
What, because she's not Hillary Clinton?
No,
Your
it's-
mom is kind of like Hillary Clinton.
No, it's
I've seen your
because-
mom. Patrick, put up a picture of Eric's mom and then Hillary Clinton right next to each other and do
No,
the highlight
don't
thing
do
and then
that.
see if you can like separate. I mean, they do kind of look kind of similar. So why were you thinking about your relationship with your mom?
I don't know, because it's been complete gutter. I mean, it kind of started 2 decades ago, really.
Well,
you kind of remember the turbulent.
34 now, so it started at 14.
Yeah, 14, 15, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. I'm 35, by the way.
But on the good side, on the upside of this, your relationship with Will's mom has gotten much better.
Oh, yeah.
Your and Tanya's relationship is like, it's blossoming into a beautiful marriage.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Second marriage, but
Can
yeah.
I
Yes.
call you dad yet?
Not yet. We're not there yet. We'll get there.
Anyways, go on about your mom. I'm sorry.
My boy. Okay.
Papa.
Don't do that. That's really
see, it's still too cringe. We'll get there.
it's still too cringe. It'll happen
We'll get
eventually.
there. Let it happen organically. Don't force it.
Yeah, and don't laugh after you call him your boy. Like that's that just sounds like he's a black guy or something, and you're like, trying to like, get along with him or something. Like you don't call.
dog.
Yeah. See, you're just forcing it.
Yeah.
Both of you are
it's not-
forcing it. Eventually, it'll become organic. You take him to like Disney World or something. Get him some ice cream. Take him to the movies.
Yeah,
All that kind of stuff. The kind of stuff that like little kids like will like.
Lube up the relationship a little
Yeah,
bit.
lube that relationship right up.
Mhm.
So why
Take it to a Catholic confirmation. Yeah.
a Jewish confirmation? But yeah,
I thought we were lubing him up. Oh, wait. Oh, I see what you meant. Never
the
mind,
other
never
side.
mind.
The Catholic's the back side, Jewish is the front side. They lube up the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what's with your mom? I mean, she's just like an alcoholic, right? And she's married to that guy that I
You
cannot.
also know. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that dude legitimately got drunk and tried to sleep with my mom once.
So cringe.
I know. It's so like he just proposed
I don't think I've ever.
sex to my mother publicly in our house. And my dad, hearing about it like 5 minutes later, because my mom was like, she was nice enough to wait until he left to say something to my dad, because he asked her in like the hallway or something. My dad was on the other side of the house. And my dad legitimately started getting in his car and like taking a gun.
Oh, wow.
And he was about to go defend the honor of his woman. And my mom was like, oh, wait, hold on now, soldier. All that shit. Yeah, I mean,
Excuse me.
Your mom's-
Mr. Seth. Could I engage with you in the opportunity of coitus?
that is probably what happened. She probably fucked him and calmed him down. I mean,
Yeah.
that would calm me down if I was like, I'm gonna go fuck up this
That
guy who
pussy
tried to
put
fuck
him
my
to
wife.
sleep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My dad says my mom fucks real good, and I'm not like even lying. It's weird. My relationship with my dad.
Why would you lie about your dad bragging about banging his
That's a
wife?
good question. Why would I lie about that? I guess it
And
would be my
on
own
another
self.
Why is your
podcast,
dad bringing that up
projecting.
to you?
It's because I told my dad,
His dad
on
has
my
weird, like, what's the word? Not barriers.
Your dad
but,
don't have friends.
No, absolutely, he does not. If I'm going to be realistic,
boundaries. He has weird boundaries.
He does have weird boundaries. He doesn't want to talk about me being gay, but when it comes to talk about fucking my mom, he's all about it. When I was 21 and we went out on my 21st birthday, my dad and I went and got drunk in downtown Chattanooga.
Mhm.
And my dad, I was just like, I've been married for 3 years at that point, and I told my dad, no, my wife doesn't really like sex. We don't have sex that much. And he was like, that sucks for you, son, because I know that you're my son, and I know you have a really strong sex drive, probably. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, but you get over it after a few years and you learn to live with it. He was like, I don't know if I could do that. Your mom's really, really sexually active. So, I mean, that really helps in the relationship. And I think that's kept our relationship together for our entire relationship. And I was like,
Huh.
all right, cool. Thanks, Dad. And then after he had his
She's a sweet lay, son. I gotta
yeah,
tell ya.
basically.
I clap those
He went
cheeks.
on to tell me about
I got
how
real lucky.
Yeah, he went on to tell me about how she throws ass. But because he's just drunk, he's like blackout drunk, and we're playing pool. And he's just telling me
Let me tell you, boy.
intimate details.
When she's on the tip of it, spinning around,
Yeah.
I feel everything.
I feel God.
he also told me
That's when I see. You know what
And
I
that's why
worship?
he's religious.
You know
Yeah.
what my God is, boy? Your mother's ass.
I wouldn't doubt it. So he also had gout real bad.
Yeah.
And he's had a stroke.
He had gout in his balls.
And no, he had gout in his penis.
Ah.
Legitimately. Not
Yeah.
even a joke.
I wasn't
Wait, really?
joking.
Okay, yeah. I took him to Wendy's one time, and we're sitting there and we're eating Wendy's. And my dad puts his burger down and looks at me solemnly. And he says, Patrick, I have to admit something to you. And I was like, oh, God. Okay.
Why did he have to have the dramatic reveal?
In Wendy's, where there's people around
In
us.
Wendy's.
Yeah. And he's like, and like as if to like soften the blow, he goes, my dick don't work no more, son. Like in like a country accent. And I was like, I was like, all right. Yeah. And he was like, the gout done got to my dick and I can't get hard anymore. It just is soft all the time now and kind of swollen and hurts.
Oh.
And I
that
was like,
sucks.
oh my God. I was like, one, I didn't like, I'm glad that we have such a bond that you could like legitimately just tell me that because that's probably been bothering him for a month. You know,
Right.
that's probably like eating him up. You can tell no
Who
one.
the fuck are you gonna talk to
Exactly.
about that? You know, like
and he was like,
Probably
and now-
the world on a podcast.
Yeah,
Poor guy
exactly.
just
Now,
needs to get it off his
I can
chest.
just tell it. Now his son can get it out to everybody, you know, and just let everyone really know. That guy that ran
happens,
for
guys.
president against Donald Trump that
sometimes
one time.
your penis just don't work no more.
Yeah. So he goes on in that conversation to tell me how sad he is that he can no longer have sex with my mother because that's
She's
like
such a good lay.
yeah.
She throws
And then-
ass apparently.
Well, see, that's not fair,
And then
though.
a month ago, I believe I told you on this podcast, my father out loud to me for no reason, unprompted, said, women just get like so, you know, they just get so mean when you stop having sex with them. I don't know. Like, I'm just,
Hold on, that's not fair. He could totally keep having sex. He just can't do it with his penis anymore.
Yeah.
He could use toys. He could still eat her out.
I have been tempted to buy him like that strap-on thing that goes
Yeah.
over your dick.
Yeah.
To like, you know, like it's
Give him
just
some
like
bad dragon shit.
yeah, like some bad dragon shit.
No, watch it. The
I've
things
been-
that go over your dick usually have to go over an erect dick. don't
That's
they?
true.
I know
It
it's
won't fit in it.
sad.
And then he'll just be even sadder.
Well,
I
you can get a
know.
strap on.
That's-
If lesbians can make it work, he could surely make it
if
work.
lesbians can make
Okay.
it work, a Marine can make it work. God
To
damn
be
it,
fair,
Semper
He's
Fi.
He's in his like what, late 60s, early 70s, or
Early
something?
60s.
Early 60s.
Look,
okay,
I'm
so
just
he's
saying
older
that
already.
like using a strap on wouldn't make him any less of a man. Is all I'm trying to say.
He's 8 heart attacks in and 2 strokes.
Yeah, look, I'm
I
just trying
mean-
to say using a strap on wouldn't make him any less of a man.
No, I mean, the weird part to me in that conversation was like my mom is in her late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, she's older than him.
yes,
right. I
by
forgot.
7 to 8 years. And I was like, my mom still wants to fuck?
Well,
Like, apparently my dad can't, and my mom is just like, let me throw ass for you, honey. Let me do it like we all
So
used
what
to, the
you're
old
what you're
style.
saying is if Bucket or whatever his name was came back to your house
yeah, bucket.
and
yeah.
was like, "Hey, Miss, could I interest you in colloidus?"
yeah, Patrick, bleep that
Colloidus?
out, but yes.
You mean coitus?
He might.
No, colloidus.
Yeah,
He had a list.
Colloidus.
And if your stepdad came over to our house again and proposed to my mother in the hallway again, you know, maybe this time he'd get away
go
with
it.
hey.
Why did he do that? Why did he do that?
Ask
Why did your stepdad?
why he
Why did
did
your
that.
stepdad
Call
try to
your
fuck my
stepdad
mom?
right now.
Yeah, call Shane on the phone.
I can't. I have him blocked on my phone. Right now. He pissed me off when I was fighting with my mom about 6 months ago, and I
Yeah.
haven't spoken to either of them in half a year.
Did he do that thing
that's-
where he was like, "Now, son, you're not my dad"?
Yeah.
No, he's never called me son.
Thank God.
I call
that
him by
guy's-
his first name.
My
if he
problem
calls
with
me
that
by
dude, with your
mine.
stepdad, and I hate to
Is
say
he
this,
about your age or older?
he's
He's older than me.
Oh, okay.
yeah, but he's not
the way
that
you,
much older
The way
than
you talked
dude.
about him, it sounded like he was your age.
Well,
No.
he is younger than my mom.
Yeah, by far.
Actually, like just like they are.
Yeah, like 10 years.
instead of 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he's like 10 years older than you and 10 years younger than her, right?
Yeah, he's kind of right in between us,
Yeah.
basically.
He's that like hot new piece of ass that was young that she was able to latch onto. He's your stepdad, so I have no business saying this, but I fucking hate that pompous piece of shit.
Oh wow.
I fucking hate that dude. I've always
Well, he
hated
tried
him.
to sleep with his mom.
No, before that I hated him. Once I found out he tried to sleep with my mom, I was like, so he's just like an alcoholic, like freak that just has no self-control or something.
Yeah.
But I hated the dude because he
Well,
like,
it's because you knew something was wrong. Like he tries to sleep with people's moms.
yeah, I could feel it, you know? Like I could
you
feel
feel
it.
the motherfucker energy in him.
Yeah, exactly. He has real motherfucker energy.
Well, we've mostly got
Eric knows all about that.
Really?
Wait,
Wait,
I
what?
just
Eric knows about it.
Oh, I thought you said Aaron.
well,
And
yeah.
I was like, Aaron's been
I've
fucking
lived with
people's
the guy
moms?
before, but yeah, there's just kind of an understanding that I
Everyone's
just
mom's been fucked.
no, please. What did you need to say?
Everyone's
What do you know
mom-
about my stepdad? Please add.
that
add
he
more
fucks
to
your
this.
mom?
Maybe.
He understands what stepdad means. One of these days, we'll explain to him
What
you know,
stepmom means.
mhm.
Mhm.
But
Is that when
we'll get him out of this communism phase
Is
eventually.
that when she
don't
also
worry.
fucks your mom? It's like a
He's
polygamous.
slowly learning how words work.
It's like a-
he'll get it.
It's like a polygamous relationship. Your mom fucks your stepdad and your stepmom.
Well, I mean, the last episode that came out before the one that came out before this one, he did say none of those letters started with I or T. So he's already learned what letters are. We're working up to words, meanings, definitions. We're getting there.
Yeah.
And he also said that the New York Patriots whole deal.
I actually watched that short outside when I was smoking. In
That's
between episodes.
that's a great clip. That's one of our better ones.
That is a pretty good one, admittedly.
With
so
the one time I went to
confidently
the one time I went to your stepdad's house, I, as a small child, I'm like 10,
Oh, this is the
11.
blow up doll story.
Yeah. I went to his room and he had a blow up doll in the bed, and he swore up and down that it was for a joke. And knowing the guy, I'm
Alone
like,
in his house.
alone
with
in
a
his own
blow-up doll.
home. Yeah,
That's a
Yeah,
funny
it's not
joke.
as much as
Yeah.
a joke as the sex toy I have.
yeah. I've been,
Like
you know,
it's-
ever since you last talked about that,
Yeah.
I did pull it out of the closet, and I was like, you know what, Will's right. Maybe I shouldn't be jacking off by myself anymore.
Can I admit
You know, I
something
shouldn't be-
actually? So for a long time, I had never had a sex toy. Recently, I had gotten a sex toy,
Yeah, you talked about it on the
and
podcast.
it's pretty great. It's pretty fun.
You ever
Uh,
put it in between the mattress and the box spring? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Uh,
That's what we're talking about here.
And man, going back to hand,
It's not good.
awful, terrible.
You got to buy lube for it, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You got to have at least a little bit of Astroglide for that thing.
Yeah.
It's about a $14 a month addiction, but you know what?
That lube lasts a while though.
It does. Yeah, it's about 50 cents a day.
You don't need too many.
It's
too
better
much of
than
it.
it's better than cigarettes. You know,
Hey.
I mean,
You could always just not clean it. Next time.
My name's not Asmongold.
how many
It
times
will
have you cleaned your
develop a
sex toy
smell.
since you've gotten it?
Every time I use it,
Every time?
Yeah.
My God, you're better than me. I'll go about 3 times and then I'll clean it.
like at most.
But I'm using that shit every
At
day.
most, I wait a day between use, but like
How many times are you
I
using it a
make
day?
I clean.
How many times do you jack off a day? You live by yourself now.
Okay.
Like
If it's let's just
Oh,
get
yeah, like
let's
you
just get
started
straight.
ju-
Let's
too
get straight.
many
No,
times.
I want to believe you're going to say 10.
No, let's
But
get
like-
let's get it straight. I'm jacking off every day,
Of course you
but
are.
like a day.
Sure.
If it's,
I'm jacking
if
off
it's-
every
if
day,
it's-
and I
if
live
it's-
with my wife.
if it's a work day, maybe 2 times. You know.
Yeah.
If it's a weekend, if I got stuff going on,
Yeah,
maybe
you're not
maybe
podcasting
2
on a
times.
Friday night.
If,
you
it's, if
know?
I got nothing going on, I'm gooted. It's probably like 5 times. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gooted.
Wow.
Yeah, you're like going in between video
Look,
games
it's
and
cheap dopamine. I can't help it. My brain don't do dopamine.
Yeah, I know. What about you, Eric? How much you jacking off these days? You averaging once 3 times a week? Like that healthy amount at least?
Yeah, I'd say like 3 or 4 times a week, bare minimum.
3 or 4 times a week, bare minimum. My
Yeah,
God,
like-
what a fucking precious gem of a boy we have here.
Like it used to be every single day, like if not multiple times a day. But
I'm with Will over here.
The only
But
reason
I mean,
I'm
like, I'm
not-
legitimately like at least
Yeah.
once a day before I go to sleep, and if I have nothing else going
Dude, it's
on,
frustrating if you can't.
yeah, I'm
You're
going
just
like
bad.
No, you give me 4 free hours, I'm jacking off 5 times. There's no way I'm getting through those 4 hours without being like, oh, I
I'm
saw.
at least touching my penis.
No, I'm just sitting here being like, I saw something at least a little bit hot from something that I'm
thought
ingesting.
of something hot.
Yeah,
No, it's always like getting on the internet and then I see like some sexy pic of like an internet anime
Ad.
lady.
Yeah, I'm on
an
an
ad,
ad.
and I'm like, well, fine, Jesus, I guess I'll jack off
Man,
again for the 12th time today.
Damn,
like that advertisement I saw on YouTube today for
Yeah,
your
exactly.
fantasy girlfriend. Please put
And
up
it
that
was-
picture that I showed you earlier,
Or
and then
the-
put up the picture that I Googled that I sent to you right after I
That
sent
wasn't
that
funny,
picture.
by the way. That's
That was
you
not
know
funny.
that Will how Will and I feel about that.
Or that fucking that fox from the adventure something game, whatever it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stairfax temperatures.
Something like AFK Arena, whatever it is.
I don't know, dude. There's something about like gooning advertisements feeling like they're going to get me to goon to whatever they're doing instead of just finding my own goon hole.
Yeah.
Like all you've
No,
done
you
is
don't
get
get
me
trapped
in the
into
mood
somebody
to
else's
goon.
goon.
Yeah, all you've done is got me in the mood to goon.
I know.
But I'm not gonna click on the thing you've got.
I'm
and then
gonna go to
goon.
my own goon.
Yeah, everybody. What is the actual like demographic for that advertisement? 12-year-olds who don't have a goon hole
It
yet,
gotta be right.
and they're just like, yeah,
It's gotta be
whatever
like
that is.
12-year-olds
No, you
and
know
like
what it is?
60-year-olds, like people who just still don't know
What
the
is
internet
that?
well enough.
What
no,
is this
we're saying
gooning
that.
thing?
But guys, Trump won the popular vote. It's probably still most people. We're giving people too much credit. Most people probably look at Sexy Fox or whatever and go,
Oh my God.
"Oh my gosh, Sexy Fox! I'm gonna go download the game right now."
You're right. It's
He's saying if
It
you're dumb
has-
enough to vote for Trump, you're dumb enough to click on porn advertisements.
yeah,
is
which
what he's
both
saying.
you and I did, and we both have. Let's be honest. Let's not lie to the people. Let's not lie to the public.
Well, I mean, I'll give you half of that. I have clicked on them in my youth. but I have never voted
When
for Donald
Eric was
Trump.
young and he saw Asian singles near you, he was like, "Oh yes,
I don't want to lie. I did vote for Trump against Hillary. I did.
I did."
Yeah, because I did not
I was
trust
also
Hillary
not a communist
Clinton.
at that point, but yeah.
Well, I didn't trust Hillary Clinton as like a politician. I was
No,
like,
she actively
she's
said,
pretty
"I want to go to
fucking
war with Iran."
yeah, I was like, I don't fucking like this bitch. And I
Yeah.
was like, I know it's the lesser of two evils. So that was the only reason I ever voted for him.
It's always lesser two evils.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
make jokes on this podcast that I'm an imperialist and that I would vote for Trump for practically everything that I write his name in and for shit. But realistically, I voted for the guy once and I don't know. I don't know how that went. After it happened, I looked back on that and went, maybe I did the wrong thing, but I don't know.
I just want a world where I can vote for a candidate instead of against a different one.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you know what? High five. No, left hand. High five left hand again.
Yes.
Hey, does that mean tangentially, since you guys masturbate with your left hand, that means you touch your penis with your left hand? And now that you've touched hands together, that doesn't mean tangentially you have to, in fact, touch tips.
Well, it's kind of
mean-
like when you're in anywhere with a sewer network and you sit down a toilet, your butthole is now connected to everyone else's buttholes via a series of tubes. Yes, our jacking hands did technically just make a complete circuit, and I have technically masturbated him, and he has technically masturbated me.
I'd
now.
touch tips with Eric live on the podcast right now if he'd allow it, but I know he won't. He's too much of a pussy.
Next question. How many holes does a straw have?
One. Got him. I thought
I
about it for a
mean,
second.
it-
I wanted to say 2, but you know what? The answer is 1. It's just one hole and it goes all the way through.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, it
I'm smart.
just
Smart.
depending on how you want to
I
phrase
almost
it there.
just
You could
dropped
argue
an
that there's a
N-bomb.
hole on either end,
No, I
or that
want
there's
your
one hole all the
personal.
way through.
I want Eric's opinion.
My opinion is
How many
that
holes does a
it's-
straw have?
I mean, it just depends on how you define it.
Eric, how much money we got to be
define
making?
it for yourself. What's your definition
yeah,
for it?
like if
That's
you
what
had
I'm
me-
asking.
One hole with 2 openings, then I guess.
Okay, so he's a one hole guy.
It's 2 holes. The bit in the middle is the tunnel.
Yeah.
So
How much money we got to
There
be
you
making
go.
off this podcast before we touch tips?
Well, Eric would have to actually make money off this podcast.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying
Yeah.
like, you know, if theoretically,
But
I
Eric,
didn't
he's
rake in all of the money for myself and then just divvy out like penance to you guys, you know, just like I do right now. How much money would I have to start paying you?
Eric, I don't mean to
before we can
answer
touch
for you,
tips?
but I am your manager. Listen, Eric has done drama before.
You're his agent,
Yeah.
not his manager.
Sorry.
There's a difference.
Eric has done drama before. He'd do it for less than minimum wage.
This is comedy, not drama. Okay, it's a different art form altogether.
Yeah, I love that
If
people
you knew
always
a
use
thing
the term
about
excuse me,
theater
even
to
less,
refer to
even
theater.
less than minimum wage. It's comedy after all.
Yeah, he'd be doing it for like $3.
He'll do it for exposure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, this usually takes us about 2.5, 3 hours sometimes up here. So
What, to
that's
touch
3 hours
tips?
of work. So yeah, $6. I
Yeah,
guess.
about
$6. $2 an hour. That's about how much a waiter makes if they don't get
It's
any tips in a
fucked.
day.
I hate that. If there's one thing that I really actually hope that like does come from Trump being president again, is that he fixes the bullshit where like waiters get paid less or
Tip
something.
culture should be abolished.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
Completely.
fucking get rid of that.
Just pay people
what
living
they're worth.
fucking wages.
Yeah, pay them what they're worth. If McDonald's is paying people $15 to flip a fucking burger, then the waitress at Waffle House should make, if not more, exactly that amount.
Mm-hmm.
How much time are we at?
We're done. We're good.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're at like
Okay. Do you
almost
want to touch tips?
an hour and
before
10
we
minutes.
like?
Well,
Will, do you want to? You don't.
Well, I guess he's still mad at the election.
Yeah, I think he's mad. Is that what is that what like all the? You hear that chanting outside?
Damn it! I told you communism was a cult.
Oh my
He has
god.
fucking members come here.
That is definitely.
You should have never said that you voted for Trump, dude.
That is
You
definitely a
fucked us.
7.62 round.
You
going
fucked
off.
us.
That is definitely an AK.
Ah!
Oh my god.
And they're just gonna kill me too because I'm a moderate.
They're
Fuck me.
gonna kill you just because you're here, dude.
I'm not
Your
part of their
friends-
fucking cult.
Exactly, of course.
Uh,
You want to kill each other before we get to it, like before they can
Oh.
have like
Fuck me! I actually brought my gun. Yeah.
Oh,
let's
hell
do
yeah.
it.
All right.
Not nearly enough bullets for those guys. Let's do this a smart way.
All right, yeah.
right.
You just.
Let's just line it up, head to head,
yeah,
and I'll
head.
just do
Yeah.
it from the
all
side.
right. Yep,
And 3, 2,
One.
1, go!